I have been journaling, and it has helped me tremendously because it took me back to something that was helping me to release the things that I didn't know how to release, and also to allow me to see what I feel, because sometimes as humans we can block what we truly feel because we want to feel another way instead of facing what we feel at that moment. So I feel like this allows me to face and understand what I'm going through in that moment, in that second, and how I shift my energy to make it better. So this was like the biggest blessing, one of the biggest blessings so far this year for me.
Big mistake, never meant to miss the date. I was caught up with my friends, I forgot that we had plans. So the roses on the floor and found the champagne by the door. All my favorite.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Shelly with the Lifestylist Shelly. You already know what time it is. I thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel. I want to talk about a few things, and I'm just gonna get straight into it because I don't want this to be too long. You feel me? But I want to talk about knowing when you're at a place of needing assistance. And when I say needing assistance or needing another opinion or needing someone, because God sends people as vessels. So there's times in our life where we go through things, and there's times where we are supposed to go through things by ourselves. Yes, absolutely. But there are times that God sends us people that we do need to confide in, or we do need to come to, because some way, somehow they can be able to help us, or God sent something through them. It could be a blessing, it could be understanding, it could be scriptures that you needed specifically to what you're going through. It could be resources, whatever. So when you come to a point and you feel like you're at a breaking point, and you feel like God is test after test after test after test, and you feel like God is sending someone in your direction, but you're pulling apart. You're playing like tug of war, and you're pulling away from them. And you're pulling away from them. A lot of times that happens when certain things has happened with people and you put your trust in them. And that could be you put your trust in a therapist. That could be you put your trust in a friend. That could be you put your trust in a family member, a boyfriend, whoever. And now that has went to ruins, now everyone is paying for that action. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, who God is sending for you in that moment, at that time, you are denying access in your life because of where you stand with other people. What I can say, don't allow what other people do to you to block your blessings for what God has for you, because God used people to serve you, but God is not going to force you to do anything, and we all have free will. So, and knowing when it comes that time where it's just like, okay, God, I don't understand, send me a sign. And then God sends you a sign through other people. But since you're so cut off from people, you're not getting the signs that God is sending you. So what was hard for you alone, God has sent you someone. And it could be a stranger. It could be someone already in your life you're connected to. Who knows? But it could just be anybody. But you have to be willing to accept the sign that God is trying to send you. You have to be able to accept what God is trying to do in your life. Or sorry y'all, my battery's getting low. But or you have to pray about it to strengthen you, to give you the understanding, and allow your discernment to be able to see what God is placing right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, I'm checking my edges. They all right today. But yeah. Seeing what God is placing right in front of you. So I think it's very important to learn to allow people to do things for you, because it's only pride and ego or situations, trauma built up, that doesn't allow people to help. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I've had this problem a lot, which is why I'm touching on it. I had this problem so many times. But God showed me in this accident where in the past I would have told people who were trying to help me in certain ways no, you know what I'm saying? But God has told me, for one, humble yourself. For one, let that pride go, let that ego go. Everyone is not against you. Everyone is not out to get you. So allow people to help, because people are doing their part in serving God to fulfill what God wants them to fulfill in you or for you at that moment. So you have to be willing to accept those things. Um, Another thing that I want to touch on is journaling, you guys. Journaling. So I feel like, okay, so with journaling, I went to a women's empowerment group with my friend Rachel and her mom, Miss Melinda, and it was an amazing event. And they gave us these journals and these little cute little pins. And they told us to journal every day until we go to the next event. And I feel like I used to journal a lot, and I used to write poetry to release what I was feeling that day, or and how thankful I was as well in that day. So in this journal, she gave us a task to basically write what we were feeling in the day, write how our day started, what we did when we started the day, and when we end the day, right how we started, and try our best to end in the light of God, like, so in a good way. Go to sleep, rest well, and know that God will take care of whatever it is. So I have been journaling, and it has helped me tremendously, because it took me back to something that was helping me to release the things that I didn't know how to release, and also to allow me to see what I feel, because sometimes as humans we can block what we truly feel because we want to feel another way instead of facing what we feel at that moment. So I feel like this allows me to face and understand what I'm going through in that moment, in that second, and how I shift my energy to make it better. So this was like the biggest blessing. One of the biggest blessings so far this year for me is to have received this journal and to be able to really write in this journal. You know what I'm saying? I'm so super happy to be able to like do this and go on this journey of journaling again. And it's just so important, because you can write your feelings, you can write like your emotions, where you're at mentally, what you feel physically, how you are physically. You can write, heck, a letter to God. And then also one thing she said is to write to God one thing that you're asking God for in each day. And this has just showed me how to have so much gratitude for what God is already doing in my life. And then it's just like it leaves room for grace for myself. And then it allows me to realize that I shouldn't complain, and I should just be thankful and walk in confidence. Not confidence, yes, confidence too, but confidence. Like, know that God is going to get you through whatever. Have that on you and on your heart, and allow it to push through you. And even on your hard days, this is for you. And this has been helping me. And I got in an accident, so it's helping me with that. It's helping me just with the journey overall and the understanding overall. It's just a beautiful thing to be able to journal. So you guys, I think you should definitely go get a journal. If this is not your sign to get a journal, I hope that eventually it will be your sign. So get a journal. And whoever sees this, go get your journal. Start today, tomorrow, whatever. Just start. Everything starts off by you starting. The most important process in your journey is starting it. It's not the finish. The finish is beautiful, but it's the start that makes it worthwhile. And then it's the journey that you go through in the process that makes it to live for. You know what I'm saying? That allows you to see what you're doing it for, and to allow you to put your best foot forward. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you fall in love with, the process, not the destination. The destination gonna come. You stay and you do what you need to do. The destination gonna come. God got you. But it's falling in love with the journey, so that when you get to the destination, you don't feel void. So I think that was something that was amazing. And then another thing I want to say is being at a point in life where you're able to disconnect, you're able to connect, and able to know when you should disconnect and when you should keep going with whatever it is, with people, with the journey. You only fail if you stop. You know what I'm saying? And that's with your journey and your process. For me with YouTube, yes, my YouTube is not just the biggest. Of course, I desire for it to be there, but I know that with dedication, with time, and with God on my side, first and foremost, that will get it done. So it's like either I can pout or get it done, or either I cannot do it and get no progress, or I can do it and get a little progress and more and more and more each day. You know what I'm saying? It's like I tell myself, we're reading the Bible, a chapter a day keeps a lot away. You know what I'm saying? So if I can just do that a day, and it should be more, but I'm just saying bare minimum, that should be that. So I'm saying that to just say, like, stay grounded. And then also, like with people, sometimes we disconnect from people that God doesn't want us to disconnect because we allow our emotions to take over. I feel like in my past, not presently, but I feel like in my past, like if I go down in my past, I feel like I've disconnected from people because of how I felt like it emotionally made me feel, or I drawn away from someone because how it emotionally made me feel, instead of understanding the assignment that God had for me to do in that point. But because I allowed my emotions to overrule, I disconnected without a care in the world. Now there's some people that I feel like God has led me to disconnect with because we didn't have purpose. Our purpose weren't our purposes wasn't aligned. And the journey that he has me going on, they weren't a part of that journey. And I had to realize that it's okay for that to happen. Separation is okay. You know what I'm saying? And but learning when that should happen, you know what I'm saying? And also being able to simply quickly connect too, because people draw back from people because they went through something traumatic with a friend or a business partner. But God could be sending you, or a man, God could be sending you a great business partner. God could be sending you an amazing lifelong friend, which is a soulmate. And soulmates can be friendships and partners. God could be sending you all of that. God could be sending you a husband. God could be sending you all of that, but you're disconnected from that because of how someone treated you in the past. So now you allow that to change how you love and how you connect with people. Do not let that control what you will do moving forward. But because this is the thing, continue to stay you, because God likes when you continue to stay you. When you continue to stay loving, and you continue, and like I'm saying, stay you when it's not toxic. I'm saying the positive side of you, like when you're loving someone, when you're sweet to people, when you're easily able to adapt, and when you're easily able to love people, but also understanding discernment so that you don't just pick anybody, but knowing that you could pick somebody, you know what I'm saying? And so learning when you can connect to people, because I've had that problem in time where I was so hesitant on getting new friends, dating again, a lot of things because of what I went through. So I didn't want to go through it again. So I felt like it was easier for it to not happen. Then I wouldn't go through it again. Or like with guys, and it's still a process for me. I don't get really connected because it didn't leaves no room for me to have the feelings that I've once had, before. And I feel like, sorry, y'all, my alarm went off. But no, like, that is not okay. So I just feel like that is important. So I feel like even those things, journal them. Like, journal your things that you're going through now. Journal what's hard for you right now. Journal what's upsetting you right now. Journal what's making you sad. Journal what's making you happy. Journal your process, your journey spiritually. Journal your business process. Just journal it. You know what I'm saying? And release. It's a great way to release. So make that a thing. Um, and just remember to stay focused. Remember that God is first. And remember that the more you are in alignment with your purpose, the more you're in alignment with God, and the more you are in alignment with building your relationship with God, and the more you are aligned with fellowship in the purpose that God has for you, it's like a feather that keeps flying. And just make sure that the people you have, like they say, you hang around 7 broke people, you'll be the eighth one. You hang around 7 rich people, you'll be the eighth one. Um, that's like statistical, but I'm just saying, if you hang around very draining people, you will become that person that you don't agree with, because you allow they'll suck from you, because it's the natural thing. It's like law of attraction. It's like magnetic forces, like, so it's gonna attach unintentionally too. So be mindful of the people that you place yourself around, because if you're on a certain path and you're trying to grow and you're on a certain path with God, I'm not saying cut people off when they go through things. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, if you see a pattern with people, because a lot of us are connected to pattern, like a pattern of going to the gym, that's a healthy pattern, you know what I'm saying? But that's something that's consistent that you do. So if you see patterns with the person and it's something they consistently are doing that doesn't align with your purpose or where God is taking you, or what you feel deep down in your heart, on your journey with Christ, or on your journey with just bettering yourself, and if you see that it takes from your peace, then that is time to let go. You are supposed to be in a group that fills you with love, fills you with positivity, and that fills you with understanding, that fills you with where you are in Christ. You need those people who are in the Word, like you're in the Word. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing against anyone who's not. It's just that you're going to eventually figure that out. And God is going to place you with those people. And then you're going to see how your life changes. And you got to stop feeling like people are less than because you eliminated them for that reason, for those reasons. It's not that they are less than. Y'all are just not on the same paths. And it's okay to not be on the same paths with people and disconnect without a problem, you know? So, bye.